All right, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. This is another campus conversation, this time just a straight up celebration of some of the students here at SBCC. And we're going to have a good conversation. There'll be plenty of time for questions, so we're going to give people just a few more minutes to sign on before we get started. Welcome all. See a few more folks just joined us. We're going to give people a few minutes and we'll get going in just a few, probably about 3 or 4 after the hour. So settle in and get comfortable. Welcome, everybody. We're going to get going here in just 1 minute. Glad you joined us this afternoon. Okay. All right, it's about 3 minutes after. We're going to go ahead and get started here. I want to thank everybody who's taken some time out of their afternoon to join us here for another session here of our campus conversations. For those of you that have joined us for the first time, this is something we started doing at the beginning of the pandemic. And by we, I mean the Santa Barbara City College Foundation. So actually, let me start by introducing myself. Some of us know each other. Some of us have been doing this for months. But I'm Jeff Green. I'm the CEO of the foundation. And with my colleagues, when we all went remote back on March 13th, 2020, really started us thinking about how do we continue to connect not only with campus and with the student body and the faculty and the staff, but also with the broader community. And of course, the foundation is here to bring that community support to students in any number of ways. And this was one of the ways that seemed to work. So we've had a couple dozen of these at this point, and they've been of different subjects and highlighting different parts of the campus, some of the exciting things that happen at SBCC that many people may not know about. And of course, we know there's a lot. It's a really incredible century-old plus institution with a lot happening. And we realize that not everyone understands or even knows some of the great things that do occur at SBCC. So the idea here was to simply spend some time and share some of that. So today, can you feel it in the air? We're post-commencement. Does everyone feel that? The air just felt different this morning. So we are post-commencement 2021. That was last Friday. I know that some of the folks, I'm looking at some names of people signed on. Some of you were there. You were part of it. And so here we are as we jump into summer session. I know SBCC is a little earlier this year than most, so we're ahead of the curve. But that's always true. We know that. So we are going to spend some time with 4 students who have volunteered kindly to share their experiences with all of you today. So we're going to have a conversation. I got some questions lined up, but I want to invite you all as our guests to go ahead and put something in chat. If you have a question you'd like to ask, we're happy to do that. And we'll make sure that those questions get asked and answered. And this is going to be recorded. It is being recorded. And what we do, as we always do, is we will post this. And I want to thank my colleagues, in particular, Raisa Smarl, our Senior Director of Individual Philanthropy, who helped coordinate all of this today. And also to Jennifer LeMay, who will ultimately edit this and post it up on our website. So anybody, if you had a friend or a colleague that wanted to be here but couldn't, we understand, and it will be something they can take a look at later on. So with no further ado, I'm delighted to introduce our panelists. That seems kind of formal, but I'm gonna leave it at that. But I'm going to ask each of our students here to just give a brief introduction of who they are and what their experience is with SBCC, and then we'll jump right in with some questions. So I'm going to just randomly pick off my screen and start off with Melissa and say welcome. And we start with you're on mute.
Sorry about that.
Catchphrase of 2021.
Welcome. My name is Melissa Soria, and I've been at Santa Barbara City College since the summer of 2017. I did the summer bridge program called Spark, Single Parents Arriving Ready for College. I've been a part of the EOPS department since then, and I had that opportunity to also work as a peer mentor. I recently just graduated, and I have a 5-year-old son, and I feel like this has been like one of the best experiences and one of the hardest as well. But I'm so grateful to be here. So thank you.
Great. Thank you, Melissa, and congratulations on graduation.
Thank you.
All right, we go to Bryson next. Welcome, Bryson. Thank you for being here.
Hi, everyone. I'm Bryson Gossett. I am a local student from Almonte dos Pelos High School. This is my second year at the City College, going into my third. I've been part of the EOPS program since this fall, actually. I have switched my major a couple times from engineering to business, and I'm very excited to be a part of this.
Thanks, Bryson. Appreciate it. All right, Raymond, how about you? You're next on my line here.
Well, thank you. How's everybody doing? My name is Raymond Carroll. I'm a student of EOPS. Also, I'm a formerly incarcerated student. I did have the privilege of graduating this semester. I am an 8th grade dropout, so this is like something very sweet to me. My plan, I'm from Santa Barbara. My plans for the future is just to get into the area of field that I majored in, which was alcohol and other disorders. I love Santa Barbara City College, life-changing. I just can't say enough about it. I mean, like EOPS, I was in EOPS. I was co-president of EOPS Club, president of EOPS Club. I think for me, the satisfaction of meeting every single person that I could run into on campus, whether it be a student, faculty, teacher, whoever, anything from maintenance all the way to the president, I try to reach. And that, unfortunately, that's what I did. So thanks for having me, and I'm excited about this panel. Thank you.
Thank you, Raymond. Welcome. And last but certainly not least, we're going to kick it over to Sai.
My name is Sariga Sanum. I've been in Santa Barbara City College since the summer of 2019, and I was a formal Running Start student, and I am part of EOPS as well. And honestly, like my experience with Santa Barbara City College has been amazing, and mostly with the program of EOPS.
Wonderful. Well, welcome, and thanks to all 4 of you for agreeing to do this. I know this isn't always easy, but really appreciate you being willing to share a little bit about your time with SBCC. So I want to just throw back to the beginning, before you were even SBCC students, and I know some of you said a little bit about what you were doing prior and where you were in school, but really, why SBCC? What made you decide that this was the place for you, or maybe it was a person, a program, maybe it was an accident. I don't know, but just curious, like what brought you here? I don't know, Bryce, let me start with you. Oh wait, Raymond took. Okay, you go, Raymond.
I'm sorry about that. All right. So what brought me to Santa Barbara City College was like I said, I'm formerly incarcerated. Spent many hours, many days, many months looking for a job. Could not do it. I was granted the opportunity to continue my GED, so I did. I graduated from the Shot Center, and my next step, I didn't know what I wanted to go into. So I just knew the best thing that I knew, was addiction. So I got into that, and it's just the ball just started rolling. Santa Barbara City College. I'm from Santa Barbara. Like I said, I'm an 8th grade dropout. My dreams were to go to high school, play football, go to college, and play college football. That didn't happen. So when I was afforded the opportunity to go to Santa Barbara City College, um, I just thought it was the best possible solution, just to get my foot in the door and achieve something that I wanted to, and that's finish school.
Wonderful. All right, I'm gonna open this up. Who wants to go next?
Well, I moved away from being in Santa Barbara right after high school, and it was kind of rough. So after that first year of trying to find myself and figure everything out, I decided it was time just to come back home, touch base with all the great resources at the school. My mom used to work at the school, so she knew a lot of the people, and they helped me get back on my feet. And I knew this program was going to be right for me.
Let me ask you. You just said something there a second, Bryson. You said your mom used to work for the school. Was it a conversation when you were younger that this was a place you wanted to go because of that, or did that not figure in until later?
Well, it was always an option. She never wanted me to rule the option out. Obviously, being a student athlete, I wanted to go out and transfer and play at all these big schools and stuff, but injury happened and my schoolwork just wasn't where I needed to be. So she's always wanted me to make sure that CC was a great option and it wasn't just a last resort.
Yeah, I know that's one we all deal with it with community colleges. Is we got to fight that bias for a lot of folks, and it's something I know we all struggle with. Certainly, we do the foundation as well. Um, I'm sorry. What about you? What made you say this was the place for you? Or
In all
you decide
honesty,
that yet?
first it was the fact that you get 2 years for free. Like any other student, 2 years for free sounds like a great opportunity. But then I came to the school to look around, and I saw someone outside offering like some note of if I wanted to join a program, and she was really friendly and she tied the knot for me. Like her name was Alicia. She's head of the EOPS like there, and she was loud, friendly, and she made me feel like a sense of home, and that just really intrigued me to like want to continue to the school. Because if I saw her being this way, I felt like, you know what, like maybe everyone else is this way, and it's been like that ever since.
That's proven true through your whole time here, huh? That's great. What about you, Melissa? What brought you on? I know you were part of Spark. What was it? Was it the program, the people? What made you decide on
Um, so for me, it was like I was a stay-at-home mom, for the first year, and I knew that like I wanted to. Okay, sorry. I knew that I wanted to like not live that paycheck to paycheck life. I wanted to do something that I was passionate about, and once I became a mom, I knew that I had to go back to school. Not had to, but I wanted to go back to school. And I remember my friend did the Spark program and she told me about it. And during that time, it was a time where I just recently, you know, broken up with the father of my son. So like I knew I had to figure things out. Like what am I gonna do? So then I heard about the program and I went for my interview with Chelsea Lancaster. And ever since then, I was a full-time student and I'm finally done. So it feels good.
Congrats. So now you say you just graduated. Actually, I saw you on the EOPS graduation, getting some recognition there too. What's next for you? If you're done with your SBCC time, where are you going to go next?
Well, I got into UC Berkeley and I accepted, and I got a full ride. So they're going to be paying my housing out there. So that's one of the most important things that I had to look for while applying, like having basic needs all met. So I just kind of decided to take the risk and go out there. So I'm really excited about that.
All right, a round of applause for everybody. Let's all just take a moment here. Congratulations, that's huge.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, we're gonna check back with you within next 4 or 5 years and see what's next again after that.
Hopefully, masters.
There you go. All right. Raymond, you also just completed your time. What's for you?
Yeah, I just completed, and so my next step is I'm currently looking for work in the addiction field. That's just my plan for right now. Moving on to a 4-year, that's still in the back of my mind. I feel that I still for some reason, I feel like education is my area, would be my area of expertise. And right now I'm just grappling with that. You know, do I want to stay in education and do something with that, or do I want to actually just move into my field and, you know, help people? And either way, I'm going to help people. That's my calling. So I think whatever's going to come in front of me first, or whatever my heart feels like it wants to do, I'm going to go do that. But right now, I'm just focused on just getting into somewhere and how work my magic of helping people and help share my kindness. That's what I got going for me right now.
Right. Are you looking locally in the community for roles in that work? Are you looking far and wide? What do you?
Right now, I'm looking locally. In the future, I will be looking far and wide because, you know, like I said, I can expand my kindness, my help, my experience, my knowledge that I've gone through in life to help others, first in my community, and then after that, work around it. So yes, right now I'm currently looking for work in Santa Barbara, Lompo, Carpenter, any place like that.
Right. Hey, Bryson, you mentioned in passing a moment ago that and we did our little bit of our homework here, but we know you're a student athlete. You've gone elsewhere originally and come back. Can you talk a little bit about what athletics programs are like with the community colleges? I know a lot of folks know or think about college athletics in terms of 4-year institutions, but they're not always familiar with, you know, all the things you got to balance as a student athlete.
Well, one of the hardest things was probably, you know, balancing the schoolwork and stuff. And when I went to Cerritos at first, and when I went there, I wasn't nearly on top of it as I was now. I wasn't aware of everything. I just knew it was straight out of high school, play basketball, do my courses, whatever, do what I had to do to play. Here at the City College, they kind of help you learn how to balance your courses by they give you the study hall program. They make sure you meet with your counselors. I want to say every 2 weeks, but you know how it's COVID, it's been stretched, and you know, just trying to juggle that along with practices. The practices are pretty long, and they're every day throughout the week. But those are things that I feel like a lot of people overlook when trying to play sports in this community college settings.
Is there a support system for student athletes and having to do that balance? Because it is different. I mean, everybody's got something to balance, but that athletics program is pretty intense. Is that do you feel like there's support there to balance those things?
Yes, I feel like there's a great support. All of the coaches throughout all the programs are always there for the students. You know, I have a lot of friends who play for the football team, track team, soccer team, and it's all the same thing. Whenever we talk about school, the coaches just want us to get our work done and make sure that we're up to par with what we need to do. Because, you know, accountability is a big thing, especially in the basketball program. And if you can't hold yourself accountable on the court or in class, then just do it on the court.
So what's next for you? Are you continuing on at SBCC come summer and fall?
Yes, I'm actually taking biomedical science this first summer term, and then I'm taking stats the second summer term. And I have a whole another year at the City College. You know, honestly, the COVID thing wasn't the best, but it did give me the year eligibility and it allowed me to step back and look at my schoolwork and where I wanted to be. And now I have some idea of where I want to transfer. So hopefully with these next 4 or so terms, I should be able to get to where I want to be.
Right. Excellent. Sorry, you were. I mean, you've obviously been you know connected well with the folks that you've met on campus. Yeah, and you're continuing on, right? Correct? To come fall. So
Yeah.
so what's the plan? Do you have a sense now, given where you sit in your student life and career, of where you want to be post SBCC?
Um, yes, mostly right now because I have a mentor that's guiding me, Stephanie Mendes, and she's kind of just like helping me around and like guiding me on what I want to do, what I want to pursue, what exactly in the field do I want to do. And I'm gonna plan transferring to Cal Lutheran by next semester. No, by the end of this year, hopefully.
Excellent. What do you want to do there when you get to Kalu?
Um, well, I want my dream's always been to like pursue. So my major is geological sciences, and through there, I want to pursue somewhere like in the NASA field or pursue somewhere in SpaceX. Like I've always been very intrigued in science, so that's kind of where I've been trying to guide. And then Stephanie has been incredible. She's been guiding me through it, and that's kind of what I've been trying to just like. I love science, so I just want to see where I can draw the line and become an astronaut.
Excellent. Now you bring up geology. I that's my lifelong hobby, and I was a park ranger for a few years. And I remember Stephanie inviting me to talk to the geology club, and that was one of the highlights of my last year was to hang out with a room full of folks that were into rocks and geology of all kinds. Very
Yeah,
cool.
it's so fun. You know, Matt, then you know Stephanie.
Absolutely. That's great. So what do you? I mean, this has been a weird year for all of us. Obviously, it's not what anybody expected. We got actually one of the folks joining us today had a question about how you feel about the last year, that sort of the non-classroom distance learning, all the things we've gone through. How has it gone for each of you, or maybe what are the biggest challenges since this was sort of a forced experiment on all of us to get through a year like this? Um, anyone can.
I mean,
Right.
if the biggest challenge, I think it was more emotional wise, like being stripped away from family, like forcefully, like you couldn't be near family because traveling and stuff like that. But school wise, I believe it had to be more internet, like Wi-Fi. Oh, I can't go to class today because I have work, and it's just time management, Wi-Fi, emotionally stripped away. It's just all that basically. Well, for me, I don't know about everybody else.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think we all felt some version of that. What else? What else? Anybody else want to? I'm curious what you do. Yeah, Bryson.
It was the first, or I guess technically the second semester. This beginning fall semester, being online was kind of rough because I had signed up for 8 a.m. classes, but not having the accountability of being in class itself was hard, and having the option of having the Zoom calls be, optional. Not many people would show up, and I would start to slack off on when I'd get there on time and when I'd watch the videos. So I think the hardest part was kind of making sure that, like Sadia was saying, having the classes done in a timely manner and having the schedule really planned out. I see one of the questions. One thing I did like about being online was being able to watch the videos and taking notes on my own time, because it does get a little overwhelming having all these classes all at once and not being able to do what you want when you want. So this semester, having a lot of my courses have recorded lectures, I could pick and choose when the times were best for me to take my notes and stuff.
Yeah, Melissa or Raymond, any reflections on sort of this year and how you got through?
I feel like there was a lot of challenges that a lot of students from different living situations and backgrounds were going through. Most importantly was like the finance, like the one work. Like many of them couldn't work anymore. A lot of jobs were closing down. I feel like that affected a lot of students because that's one of the basic needs that they need to be able to be a successful student is like having being financially stable, um, and also like with rent, like having a place to stay. There was a lot of times where I think for a lot of my friends also that I know at City College, we were a part of we've been a part of EOPS for so long, so we're so used to that place being like our safe haven and like being there every single day. You know, I was working there, being able to see all the students come in. And I feel like not being around the staff and like having them motivating you and like seeing them every day, it was really hard to want to wake up and finish the semester. Like I feel like they're such a huge part of our academic success that I I didn't really know if I wanted to just continue doing Zoom, but I knew that I had um, just a couple more semesters left. But I don't know how my other friends did it, and they're not done yet. But taking online classes, like especially the core classes like English and math and the science classes, I don't know how they did that because I'm a visual learner and learning through a computer screen was very difficult. And then just also the sleep schedule was so messed up. Like you stay up at 2, 3, 4 a.m. and then like you nap all day sometimes, but then you're still waking up feeling so tired and the lack of energy. Like, I don't know, it just reminded me that like we really do need like people around us. And it was really hard. Especially having I remember that time his childcare was closed for a few months. So it was like I'm with him all day with everything being closed, the parks, you know, we're in the house all day. It was very stressful, but I feel like it's the new norm now. So it's a lot better.
Did the EOPS? I mean, you've all. And we'll talk about EOPS in a minute because I realize everybody here is been closely connected with different parts of that fabulous group programs. Did folks reach out to you, or how did you and your EOPS counselors and support and colleagues manage this from a distance? Because like you said, you couldn't just walk in and be there in person. What was changed as far as how they interacted or how you got to find them remotely?
Well, they did the best they can to like reach out for students. I remember they have a virtual lounge, so it's kind of like the same thing, going up to the reception desk and asking to speak with a counselor or make an appointment. The virtual lounge is just a Zoom link that anyone can join. That's a part of the OPS program, and they can always ask questions, and it's on from like 10 to 1. And then the peer mentors were also assigned to do call logs. So we would have the student's phone number and call them just to check in or remind them about important events or deadlines. So that's how we would reach out.
I understand. Yeah.
Mhm.
Raymond, were you gonna share a bit about maybe how you dealt with all this craziness this last year and a half?
Yeah, I mean, at first it was crazy. I mean, I'm a commuter. I live in Lompoc, so after the pandemic and after that, the school year 2020 that we went through, my vehicle broke down. You know, I was really paranoid about how am I going to get my books, if I'm going to succeed online, because I'm not. This is why I chose to go to school. So I could be in a classroom and be with my peers and be with professors and learn off them. When it went to online and, there wasn't many Zoom classes that were live, I got a little discouraged because I was thinking, how am I going to learn when there's nobody in front of me pointing, saying, hey, this is how you do it. But you know what? I had to get myself out of that mind frame. I did, and I was able to succeed. With the help of my children. I mean, it was really stressful. I mean, I got all these gray hairs that just popped out of nowhere. I mean, I got 3 of my children here. One's 21, one's 16, and one is 6. So, I mean, they're over here saying, Dad, you need to go do your homework. You need to go do that right now, blah, 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 blah. So that was, that's part of my motivation. And that's what got me through these last couple of semesters. I wasn't even looking to graduate. It just popped up on me, and they were like, I mean, I was looking to graduate eventually, but it just came up and I was like, whoa, that's this. I just have to do this much and I'm done. Yes, I did. Did it, and I'm here today. You know, I've graduated and Zoom this successful. Just you know, you just gotta go do it. You know, yeah, it's online. Yeah, it's it's stressful, but we're doing something that better our lives, gives us education so we can teach our children and other people and tell people that it may be hard and difficult to do this online, but there's so many people in the realm that we are in that have done it and have succeeded. So I think, it was, I mean, it's a blessing. I'm not going to say a blessing and a curse because it's a blessing. I know how to do computer stuff. I got skills on doing that. I know how to log on to Zoom, and I know how to, contact people for help online. So I'm grateful, but it was difficult at first.
Yeah, so let me flip that question over then. So what out of this last year, maybe what have you learned or what's worked for you, or what are some things about the all the new norms and experiments of the pandemic that you hope stick? Like, were there things that work for you that actually made it easier, or that you wouldn't have thought of before, but that ended up being a useful tool? I know some of you mentioned having the asynchronous classes where you could kind of watch lecture as whenever it was possible for you, given all the things you're juggling. I don't want to plant an answer, but I mean, I'm just wondering, like, is there anything about it that makes you feel like, yeah, you know what, that actually works for me. I would want to continue that.
Um, the only thing I enjoyed was when professors would record their lectures and I could pause and take notes and then continue the lecture instead of just having them rant. And I was like, oh, this is kind of better than how it used to be in lecture.
You ever ask the professor to pause in real time and have it work? I don't know if that even works.
Or like telling them to go back because I know it's frustrating. So I
Yeah.
was just glad I could go back to my lectures and watch it calmly.
Take a moment, walk away, come back, and it's still there. That's good. All right. So the pre-recorded actually can work sometimes for folks. I know a lot of faculty, a lot of professors were trying things that they've never tried before either because of because they had to. So what else? Anything else work for you? Did you like to see? This is your chance to lobby the faculty to keep doing things that work for you.
You know what I appreciated a lot was the hotspots.
Mm.
That, I mean, thank you very much, because without that I don't think I would have gotten it, because where I live at, unfortunately, they forgot to wire my apartment with updated wires, so I'm not able to get Wi-Fi. I have to come put all that stuff in, so my internet says bad. So see, I'm talking about it and it wants to go off. But I'm really grateful that the foundation and everybody that let us borrow these for our education. I don't know what I would have done without that. And like the young lady said, I'm a note taker, so going back and rewinding takes a lot of hours to do. But that was one of the things that I was able to excel on and really get my study on, is because I was able to go back and really listen to what the professors were saying and write down all the stuff that was very important, instead of just, hey, can you just please hold up and go back a little bit? I didn't understand. So that was very, very helpful. But I mean, we're getting the education through this online stuff. And, I mean, it worked. It works.
All right, so we like the recorded lectures. You can go back, pause, and stop. The equipment help. That's good to hear, because that's a big question nationally. We've been hearing it everywhere about what it sort of exposed what a lot of people didn't realize, which is that not everybody has the connection and the tools they need to do something like this remotely. So, what else? Anything else stick that you hope continues or that becomes a regular part of SBCC life? Yeah, Melissa.
The staff was a lot more lenient these past couple semesters. I understand there's a huge thing with deadlines, and of course we have to be responsible and like make the time to finish our work. But like this past year, you know, it's a lot of folks have been working like a lot and trying to just make ends meet and then try to do school. So I just feel like they have been a lot more understanding when we miss a deadline or if we can get an extension, or they allowed us to just turn in things a lot later on. So that was very helpful for the times that like we're just extremely busy or tired. They at least didn't drop points, or like they would let us make it up. So I think that is nice if they can keep that for a little longer.
Right. All right, we're making the list. We're going to take this back to them. So I'm serious. Well, this is valuable to hear. Bryson, anything for you that work that you'd want to hang on to in the coming years?
Well, I was also on the note-taking turn just with everything because my teachers are a lot of my teachers, before I had trouble with taking in class notes, I would always just be thinking about something else, whether it's just my phone or just other talking. So having the ability to be focusing on just my notes and only my notes, and honestly be able to speed up some of the notes because some teachers talk too slow, in my opinion. So to be able to speed it up and then take it at my own speed was very grateful.
Got it. All right, so we got a list here. So I'm gonna the note taking piece of it, the hotspots, the flexibility, the ability to pause, rewind, record, watch again. This is good, and it's a serious question because you know colleges of all kinds, but community colleges in particular right now are having these debates about you know what did we learn, what would we do. So I appreciate that. And there's a couple of comments coming in. You know, one here is that you know most people seem to prefer in-class education, but there were some benefits to the online approach, and I guess you know some of these things could be worked into that future norm, whatever it may be. So we'll talk about that. I'm curious, maybe what advice, and you've all been at SBCC now a while. You've had you know some semesters, some years under your belt on working as a you know figuring out how to balance all this and be a student and be successful. What advice might you give to a student, you know, a younger sibling or a friend or somebody who's not quite yet coming to SBCC, but knowing what you know now, what would you offer them? Yeah, sorry.
Join programs. More than anything, join programs and speak to your professors. Like I didn't know how important it was until I noticing like my first semester was terrible. Like in all honesty, like I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was like, I'm just doing college just because I was told to do this, but I didn't know my ambition until I met people. And then I was speaking to my professor. That's when I started knowing like, you know what, I have an ambition to do something and I just needed someone to guide me.
Right. So programs and people, key.
I think Sally made a great point, especially reaching out to people, because also my first semester, I was just trying to do what I had to do so I could play. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. So my classes I was taking weren't necessarily for my major, and I kind of wasted my time a little bit. So it's good that I think people should reach out to the counselors, make sure they're talking to the right people in the ST programs, because I think my second week I talked to people in the Emoja program, and they helped me figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Also apply for scholarship. A lot of people don't really know about that, but scholarships are always open, and it helped me out a lot.
Great. Thank you. All right, we're making another list here. So people, programs, you know, take advantage of what's there. Scholarships, you know, apply. I think that's a big one. I know there's a lot of students that either don't think about it or don't think they might qualify, or just you know nobody's introduced them to that fabulous form, the FAFSA, or those other applications that everybody has to wade through. What else? What other? Yeah. Raymond?
Yeah, I would definitely say apply for scholarships. I've been blessed with many scholarships from the city college. FAFSA, get to know your counselors and your professors. The biggest thing that I was told was to, at the end of class or the beginning of class, go up to your professor and introduce yourself. You know, for a big thing for me was because like when I was first going to school, I was afraid. I was afraid. You know, like I said, I dropped out in 8th grade, but I have a bunch of tattoos. I'm formerly incarcerated, and for me, I just wanted the professors to know that I was serious about my education. I'm a learning student. I participate, and I'm gonna do what I have to do to be successful in your class. And that's what I did, and it worked out for me. Also joining a club. So if I didn't know anybody, I'd have that, the people in the club to back me up and be my peers for the remainder of my college stay. But fortunately, I had some good people that were right next to me as I went through college. So meeting people and just meeting people, put yourself out there, you're there to learn, you're there to meet people, be yourself. It's okay, and just learn and do what you do. And that's the advice I give to people because it worked for me. Might not work for a lot, but I mean, for me, it worked, and a lot of people that I know have done that as well, and it worked for them too. Just be yourself, meet people, get to know staff, and just do you.
Great. Anything you'd add to that, Melissa, about what you tell a future student about how to make the most of it?
Well, they pretty much covered a lot. Like, I definitely agree with what Sari and everyone said that being a part of a community is very important. I also didn't think I was going to be super involved at school, yet alone in college. I thought I was just going to be in class and leave, but I just soon found out that the more that I stayed at the school, I got all my homework done. And I met a lot of people. So being a part of a community is super important. And also just taking advantage of the free resources at the City College, like the 10 free counseling sessions at the health wellness center. So that was I took advantage of that. And the food distribution at school, there's so many like free resources, like in UPS also, they let us know about it, like the career center when you want to look for a job or need help with a resume. So I think that also helped me just kind of like put myself out there and meet a lot of people. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And also not being afraid of asking stupid questions. Because, yeah.
That's just good life advice.
Exactly.
So you just said something, Melissa. I'm curious, how many, like, and this is maybe more of a question than people want to take on, so feel free to pass. But like, what did you learn about yourself? Did you surprise yourself in this adventure of being a student? And those of you that are still there, is there something I'm thinking you mentioned, Melissa, you thought you'd just be in, be out, and be elsewhere. But yeah, did you surprise yourself?
Oh yeah, this has been a crazy learning experience, like learning how to like love yourself. And it wasn't just like an academic journey for me, for sure. I definitely learned a lot about myself. It was kind of like I felt like every year at CC was like a rebirthing kind of moment for me. I felt like I found myself at SBCC. And then of course we all have personal things outside of school, so that also gets in the way with our education. And I feel like getting to know the people and having the support system at City College, it was easier to kind of bounce back and like find yourself again when things would get in the way. But I don't regret anything about SBCC. I feel like I have just I don't know, I grew up so much more, and I feel like a lot more confident within myself and like and my academic journey. And I don't know, I always tell all my friends that aren't in school to give it a shot, because I feel like I'm not the same person that I was, 4 years ago. And it feels really good to be able to say that, because back then, we all just we didn't know who we were, and like I didn't know anything about learning how to like self-care and self-love. And you learn so much about that in your classes with psychology and all that stuff. So it's been amazing.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Just things you discovered about yourself or surprised yourself with?
Yeah, I discovered I'm a smart individual. You know, it's been tough. I've always was told that I wasn't worth it, I wasn't smart, I wasn't gonna amount to anything. That's the road and the path that I took. Like Melissa said, in 4 years, I grew up to be a man. I don't think the same, I don't talk the same. It's just it blows my mind. And I pride myself. Education is like tippy top for me. It's something that I pride myself on. But I couldn't do it without EOPS family, staff. Everybody that's here from EOPS. I mean, I always tell people this, that like I owe my education to everybody at City College because they gave a damn about me. Everybody that I came in contact with told me I was kind and that I was worth it, and that I could do it. That just gave me a lot of hope. And that's all I needed. That changed my life forever, for a community, for a whole school. Just to say, look at this guy. He's a good guy. He's smart, and we're here to help. And that's all I needed. And so therefore, I am where I am today. And like I said, I couldn't have done it without anybody at City College. That's from the tippy bottom to the very top.
Thank you, Raymond. Anyone else want to offer anything?
I felt like at first during college, I felt like I was living my family's dreams. So I felt as if I had to do it because I needed to show my siblings it. Like if I could do it, you guys could do it. So I was kind of just floating and doing my education and not really caring about it until like everyone has mentioned like the EOPS family. And I feel like that became such an impact to me that I actually found who I was and what I wanted to pursue. And along with Stephanie pushing me and making it seem like I need to do my education for me and not to show other people.
That sounds like a huge shift. Absolutely. Thank you. Bryce, anything you want to offer, or I got a couple more questions for everybody.
Kind of just, being at CC, I learned really to just bet on myself and to make the most of every opportunity given to me. Last year, I didn't take everything as serious as I should have. Even in sports, I was academically ineligible, couldn't play the second half of the season. I thought my coaches and everyone had just given up on me. This year around, my coach reached out to me. He let me know that everything was going to be good. He had a plan for me, and I just need to make sure I'm staying on track and betting on myself and making sure I have everything, or I'm doing everything that's necessary. He's giving me the tools. I just need to make something happen. So CC is great with that, having a support system and people that believe in you. And one thing I forgot to mention that people should look into when coming to school is the work study jobs. Because my job specifically, I work in the physical education department. To be around things I love while also they help you balance your schoolwork and give you time to do your schoolwork while working. So it's great. It was a great thing for me to be a part of the work study program.
Thank you, and thank you all for calling out, programs and specifics. Actually, for people watching, not everyone may know, if you're watching and listening to this, what we've been talking a lot about EOPS, and I just want to make sure everyone understands. EOPS is Educational Opportunities, Programs, and Services, and it's an umbrella of a whole lot of outstanding supports and different, it's peer groups, it's counseling, it's access to resources, it's all these things that make the college what it is. I'll just say my bias, the foundation, our work, a lot of what we do is ask the community to support that work, because a huge part of EOPS's work is supported from community support. So I really appreciate that you've all shared a few of those. Let me, I guess I'll do a quick round. One more question before we ask you to each just sort of share any other closing remarks you may have. And that is this. So what other resources? People have mentioned counselors, obviously the entire EOPS system of support, but are there particular programs? Bryson, you just mentioned the work study piece. We talked about scholarships, but anybody you want to just call out? I mean, individuals, great, but I'm thinking programs that once you found them or connected with them, they just made a huge difference for you in your success, whatever that may have looked like for you. Could be personal, academic, you name it. But what programs or offerings were most useful to you? Because I'm sure that some of the folks listening and watching this aren't necessarily going to be able to list off every possible resource at City College, but there are a lot. So the greatest hits list is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to thank you, Jeff, and the foundation for everything you guys have done for us during the pandemic. And I know you guys did a lot for EOPS, the equity department, the pantry, and everything like that during school. So you guys have been a blessing, a big help to my family and the SBCC community. So thank you and the foundation for that. Like I said, EOPS, my heart, my life, my love. Thank you. Equity department. I love them too. They gave me a chance and they put me in a wonderful place called the food pantry that I worked for 2 years and that is where I met a lot of people from everywhere. That was just one place that I loved to be, because I got to talk with everybody, to meet with everybody. But not only that, I got to serve our community. I got to help get food and, and just be a part of that wonderful, wonderful program. The alcohol and drug department, alcohol and other disorder department, Gordy Coburn and his staff. He's a wonderful man, and I can't say enough about him. Like I said, I mean, like, if I can name everybody and everything on campus, everywhere that I've been into, I'd be here all day, because I mean, I'm a Santa Barbara City College graduate, and I couldn't have done it without every program, every teacher, cafeteria, everybody, so I'm just grateful. Everybody. Thank you.
Anybody else? What made it work for you? Yeah, Melissa?
The TAP program with Jenny, Erica, and Laura, and Danny and Melissa and all them. Right in the student services at the bottom, the TAP program has also been very beneficial for students, because they take you on campus trips. So like, I remember 2 years ago in 2019, they had like a 2-night, like a 3-day weekend going up north, and we stopped at 3 different universities. And they pay for your hotel, your food. They give you a little spending card to like buy something at a student store at the university. So it's a lot of fun. I was able to, the reason why I chose UC Berkeley was because I went on that trip during Cal Day. So I was able to experience the whole day out there with friends. So I think the TAP program is really great. And also equity with the pantry is awesome. But I don't think I joined that many programs, but also health and wellness. I don't know if it's not a program, but it's a department and they offer the counseling there. So I think that was great meeting Lacey. She works down there and she's awesome. So
Great. Thank you, Melissa. And TAP, just again for folks, TAP's
yeah.
Transfer Achievement Program. And clearly Melissa transferred and achieved, so that worked. Great, thank you. What else? Any other?
The Promise program for me was a very big one because, you know, not coming from a wealthy family, having a program willing to pay for school board and the books and stuff was just great. It was just unbelievable, especially because when I went away and had to come back to CC, I had to reapply or petition to get on the Promise program because classes are pretty expensive. So just them being there every year and helping me. I think this year might have actually been my last, or this semester might have been my last, or the summer actually my last on the Promise. But I am very grateful for them and their help. And this isn't like a program, but one person, Kathy O'Connor, I'm not sure if you guys know who she is. You know, she's one tough cookie, but she always made sure I was on top of my stuff, and she actually helped me get the job in the work studies program. And when I was eligible, I almost left the school, and she made sure that I felt at home here, and that she reassured me that this is where I needed to be.
Wonderful. Thanks, Bryson.
Like Bryce mentioned, this Promise program, it helped a lot. In all honesty, I did not come from a wealthy income either, but also I love the EOPS family, amazing program, and also MESA. MESA has helped me a lot in sciences in SACNAS. It's more like not a lot of Latinos pursue science because we're really like undergraded, and that honestly helped me. I get to see more people that want to pursue the sciences, to see that it's just to see them pursue it as much as I want to. And it's nice to see like my raza wants to see the same thing, like they want to pursue it.
Excellent. All right, so this is a great list. Again, I'm keeping this list. This is going to be posted too, so we're going to show some folks if they don't know or already believe in all this. This is what makes it work. So really appreciate you calling those programs and people out. I don't know if you're seeing some of the comments we made in the chat, but Gretchen, my colleague, says, "Yeah, we know Kathy's tough, but she's always in your corner." I think that's for you, Bryson. And again, some huge just thanks from Frank Tabar, who's a board member from ours, from Peter Haslin, of course, one of the trustees and longtime faculty member. So a lot of people here really appreciate what you're doing, what you're sharing about it. So we're getting toward the end of our hour. I want to offer you each a chance to just say anything you want, any final words to the people watching and listening, anything you want to share. Truly, anything at all before we thank folks and release them on to their rest of their evening. So I'm gonna let you decide who starts. I'm gonna wait for the first person to take themselves off mute.
Well, I'll start then. I just want to thank everyone for including me in this. You know, obviously I was kind of nervous. I'm not always the best speaker, so this was very kind of scary for me. I noticed that my accounting teacher from my fall semester is actually in here, and I thought it was very cool to have someone who I didn't get to meet in person kind of see what I'm about and understand who was taking her class. So I just want to, shout that out. And thank you all.
So you mean Cornelia Alsheimer there, who gave you a nice comment?
Yes, I just didn't want to mess up the last name. Honestly, I didn't want to pronounce it correctly.
Great, thanks, Bryson. All right, last words. Not really last words. We know we get to see a lot of you again. So, well, last for this evening.
Okay, I also want to say thank you so much for having me here. And I also want to thank Margarita. She was my Spanish teacher a couple semesters ago. And I just want to say thank you for being you. And thank you for having me here. It was nice and not that nervous because it's not face to face. So the Zoom works for me right now.
Maybe we'll try this again face to face when we're all back, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Invite you back from Berkeley, Melissa. Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, so well, shoot. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for everybody on this panel, everybody watching. I've been on a couple panels here at Santa Barbara City College, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing. Thank you to everybody once again that's been involved in my education. That's everybody who I've met, even you, Bryson. I've never met you, but thank you for being here. And yeah, look, when I become a millionaire, I'm giving a lot of money to Santa Barbara City College. That's just it. You know, my love for this college, not only because I'm from this town, but the gratitude that everybody on campus had showed towards me and towards my peers. People in situations like myself need people like on this campus to accept us. And for myself, there has not been one time that I have not felt accepted by anybody. And that's powerful for me to say, because I've never been in situations where I wasn't accepted by everybody. But I mean, literally everybody that I come in contact with has been very kind, very helpful, very respectful. And I thank you all. It's been a pleasure. I'm an alumni of Santa Barbara City College. I will be back, and I will share my gratitude with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Randy. This has been recorded, so that millionaire comment is now permanently preserved. So we'll be talking when that happens.
Definitely.
All right, final words. I would just like to say thank you for having me here and having this opportunity to share what we needed to say.
Thank you, Sadai. So this is wonderful. You all are. We're really grateful for y'all sharing this. I know this isn't always natural or comfortable, especially on Zoom in a webinar, but for us, it's really important for people to hear from you directly as students at SBCC, what it is, what it means, what's working, what's not, what the challenges are, and of course, we're all here to celebrate you because got a couple of graduates, a couple of folks that are close, a lot of big plans, and I think everybody here, we all, myself included, we all believe in this above all. So, education through this community college is just amazing, and so we, there's a huge community of folks out here supporting you, and that you're part of it. There's a lot of comments in the chat here that I'm glancing at too. You're getting called rock stars and all kinds of things, so please take that to heart. But I will just close out by thanking everybody who's joined us this afternoon. We've been continuing to have these conversations. We think it's a great model, and to my earlier question to you all, I would say, our answer is that this is one of the things we'll probably want to hang on to. It lets people get a glimpse into the college and the people that make it what it is, and they could do it from their own homes or living rooms or bedrooms or wherever they are. So we'll probably have these conversations for the foreseeable future. So grateful to you all for joining us. Everybody that supports the foundation, that supports the college, that's part of the college. I'm grateful for the four of you. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us today. And with that, I'll remind people, sbccfoundation.org. We're going to post this in the next 48 hours or so. So if you want to keep watching, you can just watch it over and over again and remix it into whatever you want. I look forward to seeing what kind of creativity comes out of that. But it'll be up there, and you can share it with your friends and colleagues and neighbors. And again, really grateful to the four of you for joining us today. So congratulations. Thank you. And we'll see you one way or another, real life or on Zoom, hopefully very soon. Thanks.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Melissa.
You too. Bye.
Yeah.